Hey guys, welcome back to Scott's Reviews, where I do camera reviews, speaker reviews, things of that nature. Please take a second, like and subscribe. I have a lot more exciting cameras coming up, to include the A7C here shortly, and we'll talk about that later, but pretty excited about that one to test her out before the A7 IV comes out. All right. What are we talking about today? I had the opportunity to go on a Disney vacation, Disney and Universal, and I took these cameras with me, and I wanted to talk about the setup I had for that trip and give you recommendations. So when you go out on your trip, maybe you want to think about one or a couple of these cameras to take with you. I was pretty happy with my setup. Very small, very minimal, fit it all in one small bag. It was good to go, and I will talk about each one, of how I used each one and what their purpose was. So let's get started. So I bought three cameras. I bought a GoPro Hero 9, DJI Pocket 2, and a Sony ZV-1. I decided not to bring my large camera, my A7R III, on the trip. Too big, too bulky, and I'm going to move around a lot around the parks and didn't want to have the big lunky thing and then try to change lenses, all that kind of stuff. All right, so first up, I want to talk about the GoPro Hero 9 because that's what is around right now. You could grab the GoPro Hero 7, the 8, what have you, and get kind of the same kind of benefit out of it. So the GoPro, when will I use that? Obviously, for anytime around water, I'm going to grab the GoPro Hero 9. Pool, slides, all that kind of stuff, the GoPro comes out. Next up is rides. So if you're on some of these rides, which they will allow you to hold something in your hand, a phone or whatever, this is very inconspicuous, holding a GoPro in your hand. You don't have to keep it out while you're boarding the ride. You kind of put it in your pocket, and then when you're about to leave the station or wherever you're at, pull it out, kind of hold it in your hand to get a view of the ride. Now you can go with just the GoPro, the way it's built right now, with horizon leveling. Give you a very decent ride and kind of keep that horizon level. You can kind of go to the next level and add on the max lens mod. Put that on, and then it'll, no matter which way you turn, upside down, whatever, it'll keep the horizon level. So water stuff, rides, action style camera is what you want. The 10's coming out shortly, what, 5.3K at 60 frames a second, that kind of stuff. That should looks pretty good. My biggest thing with the GoPro Hero 10 is that they're changing the chipset, so this should work better when it comes to the buttons in the back and everything else too. So we'll see what that holds. But that's the GoPro Hero 9. Very small, very easy. You can get this max lens mod if you want. It's kind of expensive. It's $100. You can find it on sale maybe once in a while, but I think it's going to work on the 10. It looks like it's going to be built the same, so you can use it on that one also. But I find it a fun lens to have. All right. And also, one thing about this lens for water, when you're in the pool and you keep it right here level with the water, it gives you a little bit of that effect where you have that mold or that round casing. I forgot what that's called, but it keeps the water line looking cleaner. Let's say we moved from doing an action ride to just walking around the park, walking around some of the indoor rides at either Universal or Disney, whatever, and you don't want to bring out the big gimbal with the big camera to get a good stable footage. That's where the Pocket 2 comes into play. For the Pocket 2, you have a wide angle lens. We'll have it in here, a wide angle lens, and I bought a ND filter for those bright, sunny Florida days. And then you have the mic. You can use this. I didn't use it much. I use it to play around like I was interviewing the kids. If you want to get great audio as you walk and talk, obviously you want this. But if you're not caring about that, you don't have to bring this with you. This does a pretty decent job of getting audio if you want some of the audio around it.
The resistance prisoners.
You have what I want. You know the location of the secret base, and I will take it from you.
We are needed on the bridge.
Keep the prisoners here.
A lot of times I add music to my videos, so not a big deal, but that is available. This one has the extension on it to get the wireless to connect to your phone app, and it has you can add an audio mic if you want to, that kind of thing. Not really necessary for a trip like that, but if you have it, use it. It helps setting up any type of time lapse. Maybe outside your hotel room, capturing that. Great camera to use because you can do a motion lapse, right? You can pan left or right, get a nice good time lapse of the storm coming in, the fireworks, that kind of thing. It's just so small and so convenient to have and to put in and out of your bag when you need it. Stabilize a gimbal, something like that. It's just very simple, great footage, and I am really impressed with the nighttime quality of this. Small sensor, I don't know what they're doing to make it look better, but it looks pretty darn good at night when it comes to this camera. Okay, so that's kind of how I use the Pocket 2. Put it back in its case. Again, so small, form factor, easy to use. All right. Next up is when I want to get a little better footage. I know what GoPro gives me for footage quality. I know what the Pocket 2 can give me. And then I know that this is going to be the best of the three when it comes to image quality. And when would I use this? I use it for photos to use the 1-inch sensor. And then I use some video. Now the video that I'm going to do, I know I need to remain still. I can't walk around too much and get good stable footage. Now there are things that I can do ahead of time, so I could put it with no stabilization, a higher frame rate, and then use Catalyst at the end to stabilize my footage. But that does take thought and planning, especially when you're on vacation, you're just walking around grabbing shots. You may not think of that at the time. If you put it on active steady shot, smooths it out pretty decent. Nothing like these guys over here, right? If these guys are in your bag, the footage you get is gonna be completely stable. And then when you get this guy out and you film someone, you walk around, you're gonna be like, oh my God, that's awful. It's not really that bad. You're just so used to completely stable footage that you compare it to this and you're like, not as good. So just be prepared for that. Be prepared to stand still, put it on a tripod, that kind of thing. So fireworks. So I filmed fireworks right down the main street of Disney. I had like one kid in one arm and a camera in the other. I used this, it worked okay. When it comes to not moving around, the Pocket obviously worked a lot better. I could hold the kid and film at the same time and keep it stable. But the footage, of course, in here was a lot better. It was a lot cleaner. It was a lot, 4K was a lot prettier. I was in it a little bit tighter, closer because of the lens. I can zoom in a little bit. Overall, it was better footage. So when I did the video, I mostly used the footage from this camera. So that's it. Those are my 3 cameras that I brought. I brought a power bank that I got from Inky, Electric Eel. It's got like 5 USB-C ports. Didn't really use them all at once. I charged this guy once with it and my phone once. I didn't have to charge my GoPro or the Pocket 2 at all. So I went to Best Buy and I had some credit. But I got a Peak Design bag. I think this is the Peak Design Everyday 3-liter. So it's got this little thing inside. It allows you to fold it over and you can kind of make another shelf. So I could put the GoPro on top here and put more junk behind it. So it kind of gave me another level. And I put everything else in there. So I had all 3 cameras. I had my power bank. I had some cords, my iPhone, my wallet, everything pretty much I could squeeze it in here. And the Pocket was nice. I could put it right up here, kind of stick it in. And then when I unzip my bag, this is right on top, I got it out real quick, filmed, and then put it back. And then I also, when I was walking around, on the bag here, it's got this little clip. I hooked in just the lanyard from the ZV-1, clipped it in here, and let that hang. So I had the strap on like a shoulder bag, and then this was hanging right in the front of my chest. So it was like, well, I could walk around, take a picture, and let it hang again. So it was a little nerdy action, but it worked fine, and I was happy with it. But that's what I took to Disney, to Universal. So this is my setup: the ZV-1, GoPro, and DigiPocket 2. I was extremely happy with the setup. Did I ever miss having a big camera? Maybe for some portrait shots along the way, but we were so busy with hitting the rides with the kids and everything else too. There wasn't much time to walk around and do photography. Another camera that I could think that could replace maybe something in here is maybe the Insta360 Go 2. Maybe something with the pocket area that can kind of blend in well, where you can kind of put that on your chest, walk around, hit the button when you want to, use it around the water. So that's an interesting camera to figure out where that may fit in this little package here, if it's needed or not, if it's too much. But I seem I have too many small cameras right now. I found all these cameras very useful, so I used all these and created a nice little family video from this. I have the A7C coming in the mail. My thought process on that is I'm probably not gonna like it, but I'm very interested in it. I do a lot of photography when it comes to my A7R3, sport photography kind of thing with the kids and soccer. I know I'm telling myself you're not going to be happy with the viewfinder on the A7C. I'm trying to see where else can fit in the camera world that I film with. My thought process when it comes to either wasting money or not wasting money. I think Christmas time is going to be a crunch to pick up any type of electronics, cameras, all that kind of stuff with the chip shortage. It's going to be, I go to Best Buy and other places right now that sell electronics, and there's not much on the shelf right now. And I don't think they're going to be really pumping out a whole bunch of new chip stuff pretty soon by Christmas time. So if you can grab an electronic of sorts that could be popular, you could make some money off of eBay down the road when everyone's scrambling trying to find Christmas presents and they can't find certain things. So my thought process with buying the A7C or whatever camera you're going to buy it, hold on to it, see if you like it. If you don't, keep it clean, keep it packaged correctly, have all the accessories, and get ready to put it on eBay when it comes time to Christmas time, and maybe you make a couple of bucks off of it and not lose money out of the deal. All right, like, subscribe for more. Any questions on these cameras, let me know. Hope you enjoyed it, and stick around for the next one.